Morning everybody. What a lovely morning it is. It's Good Friday. Feels good, doesn't it? We're going to do our Pilates, okay? So we'll run through the series of exercises which are all floor based. We just do our mobility just when we're standing up to get a little bit warm, just to identify the core, to make sure we've got our posture in place. And then once we've done that, we'll work down towards the floor, and then you stay on the floor for that sort of half an hour. I'll teach at different levels, okay? So you can do level 1, which is your basic or your beginner level, and then you can move on up the levels as far as you feel you can go. What I always say is though, remember that everything needs to be together. So you need your breathing right, you need your core muscles in place, you need your posture in place. All of that together will give you the most effective workout. So if you're going to come to a higher level and you forget your core muscles are engaged, or you forget to breathe properly, then you're not going to work as effectively. So that's why I'll build up the levels rather than have you just go straight to a higher level. Once you've got your basics, then you move on. So we've got a couple of people joining in now, so I'll just give it a minute or two. A lot of people have been saying that they get their notification that I'm live about 5 minutes after I've gone live, so I thought if I just go on, just give it a minute or two, then people can get themselves sorted. Make sure you've got like a mat or a towel or something that you want to lay on. I need to invest in a really good carpet shampoo after all of this is done, because I've got little sweat drips all over my carpet, which is just not great, not great, not great. So we'll work through the Pilates then. Make sure you've got space. Let me know if you can't see properly or if the music is too loud or anything like that. Knee problems, back problems, we can adapt as we go, and as long as I remember to give you the adaptation, then we'll be okay. Also things like high blood pressure, low blood pressure, vertigo, things like that, if you're not comfortable having your head down, then we can do other things for that as well, okay? So make sure you've got a space. Please do feel free to rest at any time, to get a drink at any time. I've got a really dry throat this morning. Okay, so staying nice and upright. Lengthen the body. We're going to engage our core and find our neutral spine. So to find the neutral spine, just tilt your pelvis forwards and backwards. Find the position where your back feels the most comfortable, and you should have that natural lordotic curve in place. Then you're going to find and engage your core muscles. So the pelvic floor, that is the muscle you would use to stop mid-flow if you're on the toilet, okay? So I want you to imagine that muscle is attached to a lift, and I want you to pull that muscle up from within as far as you can to floor number 10. So it's as high as you can. It would be really difficult to maintain that for too long. So you're going to take the floor down to level 5 and then down to level 3. So what you've done is gone from 100% engagement down to 50%, down to 30%, where we're going to leave it, so you know you're drawing up. You can feel the pelvic floor is gently raised. Then imagine a belt around your middle, and there are 10 notches on that belt, 100%, notch number 10. So draw it in as tight as you can, notch 10, take it out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it there. So our neutral spine is in place, and our core muscles are engaged. You need to breathe from your rib cage. You're going to touch your fingers together. Now I don't want you to move your hands, I want you to breathe from the ribs, lateral thoracic breathing. So take a deep breath in and release. I always give myself these 2 breaths just to calm myself down and release, and then just get my mindset in the right place. So everything as it should be, just begin to pedal through your feet one side to the other, raising up an alternating heel, and just allow your shoulders to gently rotate in one direction and the other direction. And we're placing the feet down, lifting all the way up onto the toes, and release. Lift up onto the toes, and release. Good. And we're just going to step out to the left, reach up and over, come into the middle, and change sides. So lateral flexion, lengthen through the spine, through the waist, and you're just going to take one more to each side, please. Last one is here, into the centre, toes and knees forward, hips stay nice and still, arms come up. Breathe in, as you breathe out, rotate to the left. Breathe in, come come to the middle. Breathe out, rotate the other way. Come back into the middle. So you're always returning back to your central point. You could then also allow your arm to lengthen. Look gently over your shoulder and follow your fingers. Spinal rotation. Last one here. Into the center. Release the arms down. So you're going to stand towards the back of your mat or your towel, whatever you're using. You're going to breathe in and tuck your chin to your chest. And you're going to breathe out and gently roll down. Now you're lowering through your vertebrae one by one. You're softening your knees so you don't pull your hamstrings. You're allowing your arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, you begin the process of gently rolling back up, rebuilding the spine, all the way to the top, head and neck raise last. Reset your posture. Breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently begin to roll down. At your lowest point, allow the arms to hang and relax. And then when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, begin to gently roll up. So we'll roll down and we're going to come down to the floor this time. So breathe in, chin to the chest. Breathe out, gently roll down. And at your lowest point, you're going to walk your hands and your knees down. And you're coming into a box position. Now your back should be nice and flat. You should be able to balance a tray of drinks on your back and it would stay there for the duration. Wrists, elbows under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, but also your knees should be hips distance apart. They act as stabilizers. They help to keep your body balanced and central. So you're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, push one leg all the way out along the floor. And then breathe in and draw that leg all the way back under. Other leg, breathe out, push it away. Breathe in, draw that leg back in. Now as you transfer from one leg to the other, make sure you're not allowing your hips to drop side to side. At level 1, you don't even need to lift the leg. You can just push it out along the floor. At level 2, breathe out to lengthen and raise. Breathe in to lower, toes at the furthest point, and then draw that leg back under. So you're extending all the way, comes up, breathe in to touch down, and draw back in. Level 3, opposite hand slides out along the mat in front of you, slides back in at the same time as the leg. And then in level 4, the arm is going to raise, toe and fingers touch down, and then it all draws back in. Carrying on for me, please. Remember, your breathing is full and deep, so your movements are slow and controlled. Your body weight is central. Whatever level you are working at, your back remains nice and still. So you're just pushing that leg all the way back, with or without the lift, only in line with the body. Then breathe in to touch it down and draw it back in, without getting carpet burn on your toes. Nice, full, deep breaths. So this is swimming. Strengthening for your core, your lumbar spine. I'm going to ask you, please, making sure the toes touch the floor before your knee, for one more on each side, please. Remember to draw up and draw in with the core. And once you've completed those 2, you're gently going to bring yourself to a level 1 leg pull. So we're coming down on our front, forearms and elbows are down, and all we do is draw up the pelvis, so the middle of the body, the tummy, is all raised up off the floor. So the pelvis is drawn up, but your knees remain down. So we're going to come into this exercise called a hip drop. I'll be a slightly angled so you can see me. You're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, you're going to lower the hip one way. Breathe in, come to the center. Breathe out, lower the hip the other way. Breathe in, come to the center. Now, all the time that you are moving, your breathing is full and deep. Core muscles zipped up. If you want to go to the next level, you are bringing your knees off the floor. Breathe out to lower. Breathe in to release. Now what I see people do with this exercise is they start to tilt and they look with their head down their body. You've got to keep your head in place. It's got to stay still. You've got the alignment going from the neck all the way down to the base of the bottom, okay? And that stays in line. If you're twisting your neck to look what you're doing, then the alignment has gone. So I'm going to ask you, please, in your hip drop, sometimes I sound like I know what I'm doing, don't I? How does that happen? I'm going to ask you for one more to each side, and then you're going to gently lower all the way down onto your front. So obviously you may, if you're not sure of the Pilates exercises, if you're fairly new, you'll probably want to keep your head up just so you can have a little look at what I'm about to do. But once you understand the exercise, then place your forehead down on the floor, okay? So your hands are going to go into the small of your back, your head will be down, and I want you to bring your legs together. You're drawing up through the core, take a breath in. As you breathe out, raise your legs. You'll push your hips down a little bit, but you've drawn the belly button still up, yeah? Breathe in. As you breathe out, 1, 2, 3, and then breathe in and lengthen. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3, breathe in and lengthen. Now you could do one leg at a time if you need to. Heavy's down. Squeeze your legs together. Double leg kick. Working up the back of the thigh through the hamstring and into the glutes, the bottom, yes? And of course your core muscles are drawn up. Your lumbar spine is in place and working. Deep full breaths out. 3 heel kicks to the bottom. And then breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out, 1, 2, 3. Breathe in to lengthen. In your double leg kick, I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. Once you've done your 2, you can allow your legs to lower. You can relax those arms. And we're just going to come into the leg pull and we're going to hold a leg pull, okay? So we're not moving this time. Draw the pelvis up for level 1, keeping the knees down. Draw the knees up for level 2, making sure that the bottom isn't in the air. And if you want level 3, making sure that the legs stay in line with the body, so you haven't stepped them out too wide. You're coming all the way up here. Now make sure your weight is evenly distributed. Don't lean too far over because you'll overload your arms and your shoulders. Likewise, don't push too far back because you'll irritate your lower spine, okay? So knees down at level 1, knees up at level 2, and then up on those hands at level 3. You choose your level. Now if you begin to shake or wobble, it is a sign of muscle fatigue, so just rest and draw back in when you're ready, okay? And I'm going to ask you please, for up to, it's a guideline, for up to 3 more breaths. If you can only manage 2, just do 2. Excuse me, just while I take a sip of water. And once you've completed those, you'll gently lower, and you're going to turn onto one side. Now we will do both sides, so remember which one you're doing first. Elbow under the shoulder, legs bend, soles of your feet in line with your bottom. Now the first thing I want you to do is hoist up your rib cage. So instead of having it down, you've drawn it up and you've created this nice open space underneath the ribs and the underarm. Take that top shoulder back so your chest is open. You are currently in a level 1 side bend position. So if you do nothing else, you are working into your obliques already, even if you just stay here. But I want to add to this a lateral hip raise. This will help with sciatica if anyone's suffering. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, press the top leg back. Breathe in as you gently release. I can speak from experience here. With sciatica, it does you no favours sitting around. So this is a nice one to gently ease out any trapped nerves in the lower back. Now, if you've got a shoulder injury, if you can't be propped up, then by all means come down onto your arm instead. You're breathing out to press it back, keeping your feet together, breathing in to return. If you want a little bit more, bring the hip up. Again, try not to overload the shoulder by putting all your weight into that arm. Breathe out to open and in to return. Make sure you're not rolled the chest forward, you've kept the chest open. Breathe out to press back, breathe in to return. And how about our head? Don't crank your neck, don't let it drop. Try and keep it in line as best you can. So in your side bend with your lateral hip raise, please complete one more. And then gently bring those legs round so you're sitting up. So from your seated position, your legs are bent, your feet are down, your feet and knees are hips distance apart, shoulders down, relaxed. Chin off the chest. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis under so you've got a C-shaped spine. Breathe out to lower, only as far as you can go. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out, continue all the way up, lengthen your back. Breathe in and tilt, breathe out and lower. Now if you can go all the way down, that's wonderful, but you do need to get all the way back up without moving those feet or wobbling those knees. Breathe in to tilt, breathe out to lower, only as far as you can go. Breathe in, start the lift, breathe out, continue the lift. Keep going for me. If you have got a lower back injury or discomfort in the lower back, or you've got short or tight hamstrings, you can work with straight legs if you prefer. Breathe in, tilt, breathe out and lower. We're not allowing the chin to lower, we're keeping the chin up off that chest and we're keeping those core muscles engaged. Roll up, this is called. Breathe into tilt, working directly through the core and mobility through the lower back. Breathe into tilt, breathe out to lower. Breathe in, start to come up. Breathe out, continue all the way up. So in your roll up, please complete 2 more. I'm looking over my shoulder to make sure that I've got enough space. We're going to come into a roll back next, okay? So you're seated, your feet are on the floor, and I want you to think about the motion of a rocking horse or a rocking chair. You breathe in, tilt and roll, you breathe out, you come all the way back up. The spine coming through like a rocking chair. Level 1, your feet come back down. Level 2, you're going to hover your feet, and then as you come back up, don't let those feet touch the floor. So breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, come back up. Feet come down, that is your level 1, feet stay hovered, level 2. Hopefully you've started that, and I'm going to talk you through your level 3, which is your crab. You have your legs crossed, you hold your toes, breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, lift up, but you're not letting those legs drop back down. Breathe in, tilt and roll, breathe out, lift back up. So mobility for your back, strength for your core at your chosen level. Now when you do roll back, don't go too fast to bang your head, okay? It's got to be controlled. Breathe in, breathe out. Or feet coming back down to the floor at level 1. Don't let those legs touch. At level 1 and 2, those legs don't touch. Only in level 3 in your crab do those feet come together. So I'm going to ask you to do one last one where you roll down and stay down. Legs bent, feet down. Now you need to find neutral spine. So just tilt your pelvis a couple of times. Find where your back is comfortable. Then imagine you've got a spirit level across your hips. Bubble of air central and still. Breathe in, core muscles in place. As you breathe out, right leg up to a right angle. Knee above the hip, ankle in line with the knee. Good. You should be able to reach your knee. If you can't reach it, it's too far away. If you can reach it but you've got a big bend on your elbow, it's too close. So we're going to make 2 separate movements. The first one is a one leg stretch where the leg fully extends and returns. Then the leg remains bent for a scissor, touches down, comes back up, remaining in right angle. So when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, one leg stretch, lengthen the leg away from the body. Don't let it touch the floor. Breathe in, return to right angle. Keep the right angle. Breathe out, touch the foot down. Breathe in, lift it up. One leg stretch. Breathe out as the leg moves away from your body. And breathe in as it comes back in to where it started. Now, if one of those movements is uncomfortable for any reason, stick to the one that's okay for you. If you want to go further, you're going to lift your other leg up, but you're going to just keep it bent, lifted, and still. So you're only moving that one leg. Shoulders down and relaxed. Core muscles zipped up, pulled in and engaged. Breathing out to lengthen, in to return. Breathing out to touch down. Breathing in to come back up. So I'm going to ask you please for one more of each of those movements with that supporting leg up or down. When you've completed those 2, this leg comes back to start. And we carefully lower it down. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, other leg comes up, right angle, knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee. Breathe in, breathe out to lengthen, keeping this other knee still. Breathe in to return. Keeping the leg bent, breathe out, touch the foot down. Breathe in, lift it up. As that leg moves away from your body, feel the lengthening, tightening through the centre of the body, through your core. You've got to make sure everything stays as it should be. Your breathing is full and deep. That means your movements are slow and controlled. Your core muscles remain engaged. Neutral spine. You should be able to touch your fingertips together underneath the back. Unless, of course, you've got something like scoliosis, which prevents you from doing that. And if you want to then go to the next level, you can bring that supporting leg up and just keep it lifted and still. Carrying on for me, please. Remember, if one of those isn't right for you, do the one that is. Core muscles remain engaged at all times. Breathing out takes the leg away. Breathing in draws the leg back in. Strengthen through the core and the lumbar spine. One leg stretch and a scissor. And I'm going to ask you please for one more of each of those. And when you've completed both of those, you're going to allow that foot to carefully lower down. Good. Strengthening through the core. So one last one on our backs. You can have one leg or both legs raised. Level 1, one leg. Hold and breathe. Level 2, both legs, hold and breathe. And you can bring up the shoulders, the arms, chin off the chest, breathe in. As you breathe out, push down. Now you can do the pulse with one leg only or both legs together for your harder level. And then if you want to go further still, legs are out at 45 degrees. You breathe in, hold, you breathe out and pulse. Now if you are just doing one leg only, you're going to do 2 more, then you'll allow that foot to lower and you'll swap legs. This is called the 100. Core muscles in place, neutral spine in place, one leg or both legs. You don't have to have the pulse if you don't want it. You can keep the head and shoulders down and just have the legs in place on their own. Entirely up to you. Hopefully you've all remembered to swap legs, those of you who've just got that one leg raised. Good, nice full deep breaths from your rib cage. Remember, when you need to lower, if you need to rest, 1 foot at a time comes down. You're going to complete 3 more breaths for me, please. Once you've completed those 3, 1 foot at a time comes back down. And then you're going to transfer onto the side that you haven't worked yet. Elbow underneath the shoulder. Hoist up your rib cage. So remember, this on its own is still working the obliques. So we've drawn up the waist. We're looking straight ahead. We've opened the chest. Legs are bent. Breathe in. As you breathe out, press the top leg back. As you breathe in, return. Breathe out, press the top leg back, breathe in to return. If you want to go further, draw the hip up, breathe out to open, in to return. Keeping the chest open, keeping the head and neck in line with the spine. Again, any problems with the shoulder, then stay down on your side. Keep the feet together. Oh, a little bit cramped that time. Breathe out to press it back. Breathe in to release. Lateral hip raise with a side bend. Keep the rib cage drawn up. Breathe out to open and in to return. Good. Strengthen through the body. And I'm going to ask you, please, for 2 more breaths, up to 2 more breaths. And when you've completed those, you're going to carefully bring yourself round into a box position. So we're back to where we started. From here, all I want you to do is breathe in, arch your spine and bring your chin to your chest into a cat stretch. And then breathe in, gently release it back. So round the spine, chin to the chest. And then carefully release it away. Good. Breathe in, round the spine, chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. And just from there, sit back on your heels. Lengthen out your arms so you're coming into a child's pose. Just lengthen through the back, through the shoulders, through the arms. You're going to carefully bring those arms back. You're going to curl your toes under. Now, bearing in mind you've been on the floor for about 25 minutes, so I don't want you to rush to stand, okay? I'd like you to tuck your chin into your chest, place the feet down, and very carefully, in your own time, begin the process of rolling up through your back, rebuilding your spine vertebrae by vertebrae, allowing the head and the neck to raise last. Relax the shoulders down, neutral spine, lengthen your posture. As you go about the rest of your day, I know it's a bank holiday, and I know most days feel like bank holidays these days, But as you do go about the rest of your day, just bear in mind your posture should be as good as possible. Try and keep those core muscles in place for as much as you can, okay? So with those in place, lift up onto your toes and balance. And then gently release, good. Lift up onto your toes and balance. I've red roses on my side today. My husband gave me those this morning. It's our 21st wedding anniversary. I know, I got married when I was like 10. Lift up, hold it here. Close your eyes if you can. Are you balanced? And release. Well done. So Pilates, please do feel free to go back over it and repeat it. I think there's a couple on YouTube as well that we've put on there for you. Try and enjoy the rest of your day. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. I'm doing HIIT tomorrow morning, which is a bit extreme compared to Pilates, but that's going to be at 10:30. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Take care, guys. Happy Easter.